Okay, I am back, and I have made a decision based on where we left off last. Welcome back. My name is James Dawson, and I am here to bring you along with me as we character design together. And the last time we started, we had, hold up. So we had 4 designs we were working with. And they're all pretty different. Ooh, they're a little scattered here. 4 designs we were working with. I can't tell what happened to the last one. Ah, yes. So we're working with like, oh geez, where is it? Ugh, all over the place. So we're working with these 4 designs. Well, these 3. I picked the 4th one out because that's the one I decided to go further with. But we got these 4, 3 plus 1. And, I was torn between this one and the one we're working on. But, I got some consultation. And ultimately, we decided on that one. So, let's begin. Let's jump straight into it. Let's waste no time. And hopefully, by now you have noticed, we've come back with even more references and different references. And the reason why I picked out more references and switched them out was because now that we're getting a little more specific, and we understand our motif, if you remember from last time, was the heart. We're functioning with a heart motif. So since we have a heart motif, I saw it only fitting that we reference Kingdom Hearts. It only makes sense. And essentially the character was based sort of kind of on Sora's story anyway. She was just a normal girl who found a magical blade that sent her around to save the entire universe. So it's totally Kingdom Hearts. So it only makes sense to reference, Kingdom Hearts. And while searching for reference, I also found Aqua. And Aqua is actually, the design actually came relatively close. I mean, it's significantly different, but there are some key things that are similar. So Aqua is also an excellent, excellent character to reference in this case. So of course, we had to switch them out. And I have Kale here from League of Legends, and that's where our winged knight reference is coming from, since we're dealing with a sort of winged knight. And we're just gonna try and see what we can pull from each of these to see if we can get somewhere. With these. And you know what? I'm digging the new design of all the characters in Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm digging that aesthetic. And classic Sora as well. Had to get classic Sora in there because her name's Sky, and of course Sora is the Japanese name for sky. So why would I not reference Sora? But anyway, it's perfect because it has that sort of mix of modern and fantasy here. So Kingdom Hearts is really good at pretty much creating that aesthetic. Well, Tetsuya Nomura in general. So I feel like this is the perfect place to jump off and reference. And of course, I have some of the references from last time in case we want to pull anything out and not narrow our palette too much. We don't want to narrow the palette of our ingredients in order to create this fine dish of a character design. So I'm going to start off, and 3 is the magic number. We're going to try and see if we can get 3 variations, but it's going to be a lot more concentrated. This is going to be our foundation now. That one design is pretty much the foundation. There's going to be slight variations from each one, but they're not relatively all going to be the same. And hopefully I can blow through this quickly enough to where we can get to turnarounds. That would be great. Or maybe I can make an entirely different video on that, and this would just become one extended journey, but let's see if we can get there. So first I'm going to shift and select all my layers and drop the opacity on them. Just faintly, I'm gonna do 16 because I don't really want to, how do I say it? Well, actually, because part of me, I don't want to really, I want it to be the foundation, but not be too tied to the design. But instead, I have a different idea. Let's be bold. So I took the base layer that we designed on top of last time and I merged it with it. So no matter what we do, it'll affect the entirety of the image. So now we can start zooming in a bit more because we pretty much have our bases. I do, however, want to darken the color of all these because it's about time we got out of this lighter shade of blue. It was cool to play around with, but now I want to pull in a color that can really give me some contrast. So I'm gonna go to edit, fill, hold up. So shift F5, fill that with the foreground color, shift F5, do the same thing. They don't let me do it for all layers. Shift F5, boom. So now everybody's on the same page. We can cut off preserve transparency there. And let's switch to our eraser, by the way. For this one, I want my eraser to be the exact same as my chalk brush. And if you must know, I'm quite cheating. I don't create all of my brushes. I'm mainly using the chalk brush made by Keenan Lafferty, the Can't Kill brush set. It is excellent and it really gets the job done. It's an easy one to pick up and just do a variety of things with the one brush and not have to alternate. You know, sometimes when I make my own brushes, I make them a little too specific and then I can't use them in certain other situations. So since I'm having a tough time warming up and deciding what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a new layer. And well, actually, no, let me not make a new layer. Let me do this straight on this layer. So we have a foundation. Let's see how we can refine it. And I'm looking for things to pull from these designs because I feel like we can take this design more. This is simple. And if this were an animation, maybe this design would work because you only have so much you're, working with and you have to draw this over and over again. But in this case, let's not assume that. So one of the things I'm noticing a lot is there are a lot of buttons in here. So let's circle buttons and see if we can fit some buttons in. I don't know if we'll be able to fit in buckles. I don't think we would, but let's start with buttons. And maybe we could, she's got long sleeves, so maybe we could throw some gloves in there, maybe. So circle some gloves on Aqua. And one of the things I'm liking on Aqua is this thing right here looks sort of like a corset. Maybe I can have some vest thing going on, sort of a vest aesthetic, similar, something a little leathery. And I don't know what I'm gonna take from Kale. Maybe no clue. Well, she's got the long hair, so we'll see what we can do with that. We'll see what we can do with, long hair and all that. So I have what I'm looking for and trying to achieve. So now, let's press Alt, I drop that, and let's dig in there a bit. Alright, so starting off with the face, I'm going to work the head down. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to honestly start a new layer when I really want to get it down. But for now, we're just trying to impression a face, so to speak. And she would totally be smiling. give the impression of a face rather than getting the huge detail about the face. And I want to start, erasing some of these areas where there's confusion. That'll be a very helpful tool. So I'm going to pull this out because I want to separate these two shapes. There was a bit too much of a tangent there and it caused confusion. And we weren't sure where one shape started and the other one ended. So now, after clearing that up, boom, it looks like one clean cut cloth of fabric. And we can add in some of that wrinkle work there again. Boom. And this looks like it's part of the wing, which is gonna need significant detail. So now I just want to define some edges and some shapes. Now as for this heart, I feel like this heart is an opportunity to get some detail in. But I don't want to overdo it. So here's what I'm gonna do. Firstly, I'm gonna outline it. I'm gonna outline the heart. So I feel like the heart functions better in this case since it's a cow with a hard outline. And we can refine its shape, get more certain in it. And I may end up darkening the entire leggings in general, since we already have the heart thing going on. Heart motif, love. Okay. So boom, we wanted to define that. We want to start working on that. And now we have the hand here. This is a very, very rough impression of the hand. We don't need too much detail. We just need it to feel like it's there. This one, a little more brush size. We're gonna boom, pretty much follow the formula. And try to fit those fingers in there. These are two middle fingers. And then we got the pinky finger down there. That didn't work. That made a mess. We're just gonna deal with those fingers for now because I don't think the pinky finger will be all that visible. So we're gonna clear out this wing space here. We're gonna clear out this wing space. We're gonna clear out this wing space as well. And we're clearing out the wing space and refining these edges because we want a better idea of what this character is about. So boom, this is where her crotch area is. We're gonna put a more defined line there. All right. Now I just was piqued by an interesting question because we can see the hearts here, but would they be on the inside or only on the outside? And we can't see them on the other side because, well, we're only really designing this side. But that's okay. We'll get to that when it comes to the turnaround. That's something to keep note of though. Like while you notice things like that, just think, what am I going to do with that? If I don't have the answer to that question now, maybe I can just answer it and just remember it for later when you're about to, commit to that answer. So I'm cleaning up this shirt area a bit. Let me just delete all of that. And let me delete this too. It just doesn't come around the right way. So let's first of all before we try to use lines to define that, now that we're getting a little more into detail, let's use some values to define the underside of her breast. Boom. And then we can switch to a smaller brush, add a line or two here to enforce that design. Add wrinkle action. Boom. And now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking so we have shoulder pads right here. And I don't know how much I like the shoulder pads, to be honest. Let's harden this edge up. How would these shoulder pads connect? So maybe they connect to her shirt. Maybe they have a strap there with a button. I knew I was gonna get that button in somewhere. Strap with a button maybe. And right here, I want to add a bit more. So I'm wondering, let's continue with the heart motif. Let's see if I can make a heart motif out of this. So if I upside down that, hey, overdoing it a bit. Just a bit. There we go. Now I have a vest that's with a curved bottom. And I chose that curved bottom because of our heart motif. It's not like vests with curved bottoms don't exist, but I felt like that would have been the best fit. So maybe this could continue to be a lighter shade of gray. And since this is white, we can go ahead and make this vest significantly darker. We can make it significantly darker. So now we're darkening in that vest there. Woo. It's practically black. And you know what? Yes, I want to add some buttons on the vest. Add some buttons. I'm tempted to add like arbitrary buttons that wouldn't actually serve the decent purpose. So maybe they're buttons that allow laces to, like, I don't know, lace on the vest. That way they could seem relative, functional. But then that seems a little weird. That seems a little too corsetish. So let's go back and let's just not care about how it works. You should care about how it works, but in this case, I'm just not super concerned. That's just going to be the thing. And actually, I like that. I think that added a little bit more. See, little details like that, like the buttons, those are what makes your design really feel lived in. It's easy to put simple things on a person, and certain designs, if they're simple enough, you can just do whatever and it'll feel lived in. But once you add in decals like buckles and vests and whatnot, practical things, it really makes it seem lived in. Like somebody took these clothes and they're wearing them with good purpose. So now we have this cloth shirt here, but I feel like there's a little more I can do with it. So I'm going to add a little bit of an extra part of the neck, maybe. And that'll be a certain color. And then I'll use my eraser to like make it one shape. And then, just darken it in my brush, but not too much. Make it a light value. And honestly, if I'm going to do that, I should probably do the same with the shoulder pads. So the overall be lighter value, darker value than the shirt, but lighter value than the vest. And I was thinking very light hair. So, and let's bump up this brush size because I am just fooling around a little too much. Let's bump up this brush size. And maybe we can take some of this hair off the top because that's just overdoing it. And round out the contour of this hair so it's very believable and neat. And boom. And now we have values, just enough values to say, hey, this hair has volume, but it's, you know, it's a light colored hair. So there's plenty you can do with the sleeves as well. But for now, I want to focus on something that's been awfully neglected. Well, there's two things that have been awfully neglected. And that's the shoes and the wings. The shoes and the wings. But I think I'll focus on the wings first because I put very little thought into them. So now let's decide, because I haven't decided to pull anything from the wings exactly. So I think I want to incorporate, let's try incorporating these circles from Kaylee's little reference to see if we can pull that into the wings, since we already started circles for the buttons and whatnot. Is there anything else I would like to that I think could be unique and weird and utilized in wings? It's hard to say. There doesn't seem to be too much. Maybe, see, I was looking at this. Maybe this texture in Aqua's little, I don't even know what to call those. Those tapers, those, whatever these random designer fabrics are attached to her hip. You know, a sash? That's probably, you know, the best, you know, term, a sash or a tabard. But whatever those are, maybe we can take a little influence from that, but not in this one. Let's keep it in the hard heart shape. And instead, just add some circles on there. And it's sort of making her seem a little more butterfly-ish, to be honest. Oh yeah, it's totally making her seem a little more butterfly-ish. But we'll roll with it. We'll roll with it for now. See how it goes. I think I'm not sure how I feel about that. And that's okay. We got like a few others. I think they're too close. And the greatest thing is, if I work on these others and change too much, but I end up liking this one, then I could just Control J and have myself a complete copy that I can take and edit on its own. So it's all good. It's all good in the hood, hopefully. So I think that's enough for, well, no. Let's get to these kicks real quick. Let's get to these kicks. They should definitely be more of a lighter shade, shouldn't they? Nah. Their shade's okay. But I definitely need to put a little more definition into them. Like they barely passed for shoes, and half of the reason is because they were on her feet. So let's try and get more of a defined, proper foot shape. Let's leave some white there. And Let's go over with those values again. But this time, when we go over, we're gonna respect the necessary functions of a shoe. So now, you know what, I think, and this is probably totally because I don't feel like drawing laces, but I just realized she might be the type to wear strap-ons. You don't see people rock those that often. And you know what? How many Kingdom Hearts characters wear actual... See, look at him. He's wearing strap-ons, like the most complex strap ever. Heck, he has a zipper on his shoe. So, you know what? Yes, it's fine. She can wear straps. And we're going to make those straps a little bit lighter in color. And we're going to start off with just one simple strap. And had the urge to start rapping Young Sinatra. So I'm gonna do the strap there. And you know what? I am going to steal that zipper idea. We're gonna have a big old zipper up here. Yes, boom. Even though it's so small on the design, you'll hardly see it. But at the very least, you should know there's a zipper here. So whenever you have to zoom in on the foot, you'll be able to account for that zipper. You'll never be ignorant of her shoe or her foot. And that is the goal. Alright, we're done with that one. We are done with that one. See, blowing through it. Now, let's do one more. Let's work on this one. Now, let's see what we can variate with this one. And let's start with the things we're most unsure about. And the thing I was most unsure about working with this were these shoulder pads. Like, I kind of liked them, but I didn't know if they were like, I don't know. They felt a tad bit out of place, as I wasn't sure how I was gonna take care of that. It was the hardest thing to really apply some change to. So I wanted to re-explore it because of that reason. Also the wings. The wings, especially the design of the wings, is something that I'm gonna have to look at again in this one too. And this is what you should be thinking whenever you move on to the next design. What were you unsure about in the last one? What gave you the toughest time to come up with something? And that's probably where you should start with the next one. So once again, let's look at our reference and see if we can get some ideas. And nobody liked shoulder wear at all, which is a shame, except for Kale. But I don't know about that. So instead, let's change it to a jacket, since that seems to be popular. Let's give her a white jacket. Sure, why not? It couldn't hurt. She's not gonna miss the shoulder pad. So let's give her a white jacket. It's just a small change. It's just giving her a jacket. You know, let's give her a nice secure collar there. And now the jacket is pretty much that shape that we had before, and the shirt is going to be an extra. And since we wanted it to be a white jacket, we're gonna line up some parts here. Well, that side's fine. This side is the side that needs help. So we're just gonna bring up those values. So it's a jacket. So I like that. So we're gonna bring this in here because for some reason I'm forgetting that she has breasts, and the jacket is going to envelop them, circle around them, rather than get forced out and then stick. Because, I mean, you can make clothing that does that, but it's pretty bad material if your jacket does that. And I think she's a little more stylish than that. She's not going to be wearing that. She will not wear a jacket of that stature. So, you know, if you're going to save the world, you got to wear some good stuff while doing it. So now we got a jacket. And now we have this interesting tummy sort of bra thing because of how we treated the breast earlier. So here's what I'm gonna do. We have a white jacket. And since we're not going to have, so now we have to look at what the wings are doing. I was gonna get to there. Maybe I'll get an idea. But first, let's do that actually. Let's do that with the wings. Let's make a point up here. And you know, I imagine them, you know, her back being like this. And you know, let's say that's a very quick back. That's a torso. I imagine the wings going up. You know, we got the round shape at the bottom of the heart, and it points up. And this looks like the end of the point of the heart, but actually, you know, they stick into her back like that. Maybe by magic or something, I don't know. But that's sort of what I'm thinking when I do that design. Which is awesome. Which is totally awesome. In any case, that's an idea, but at least I got something down for the wings. And I'll get to the interior of those wings in a minute. But first, you know, I'm gonna do the same thing with the hair, round it out. Maybe I'll just give her short hair in general. Let's give that a shot. And, you know, let's not be afraid to be bold. I tell you, she does not look bad with short hair. And now, I'm going to darken the entire leggings because we stuck it pretty light last time, and it was light because we added in the vest. Since we don't have the vest, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go ahead and make these leggings dark. I'm gonna fill them in. We're gonna make sure, you know, our values are interesting, diverse, voluminous, by using our eraser tool. So let's do that. That's close enough. And now we're gonna draw some hearts with the eraser. And we're gonna very much define well our heart shapes. Last time we were rushing through it a bit because we wanted to get the idea down. This time we don't have to rush as much. You know, we got the idea. We're just gonna refine on that. And I think this is one of my favorite parts of this particular design. These heart shapes on the leggings here. But, you know, since we know what we're doing, we're just, you know, take our time, make sure it's done right. Make sure it's done to look well. And if it's done to look well, well, by George, we're in business. All right. Let me go ahead, add in the darkest darks here. Good, good. Let me switch back to the eraser. I'm switching back to the eraser because I'm adding a little point of highlight here. I'm gonna have to, darken some edge of that. But I'm highlighting just enough to give it form. Just enough to say, hey, this isn't just a black nothing. These are black legs. And the light is enveloping and circling around the legs of this object. So give it a little shine. Boom. Isn't that beautiful? So I got an idea, but I'll have to explore it later. So I want to bring sorry, that was my phone there. I want to bring some of this hand action back. You know what? I'm gonna make this hand imitate that hand. So we're gonna bring it out, and she's gonna be doing the same thing with both of them. Bum bum bum, bum bum bum, bum bum bum. That's essentially what she's doing with her hand. It's all super dainty and whatnot. Oh, and I've forgotten the last hand. I got so distracted at trying to get the fingers right. I'm supposed to give her gloves. It's fine. She looks fine without gloves. And I can always give her gloves this time, which I will, since I remembered now. So let's, you know what? I think I'm going to separate out that index finger a bit. Give it a little more room, life of its own. All right. So now it's simple. Just gonna create a section like this and just darken it in a bit. Just darken it in a bit. Boom. She's got gloves. And we'll do the same thing over here. Boom. She's got gloves. So now that that's the case, I can really do a light gray for this top right here. Darn it, phone. Silence, you fool. And I don't think, I'm going to keep her hair as light. I just want to clear up some space so I get a sense of the lighting. And I can come back with the darks in a more organized fashion. Yeah, that's how it's okay. And then, we'll have some time to refine the face. Oops, I meant to do that. How do they do that? Let's give the face a little more space to work with. And then, we got a little nose. Some eyes. Very simple eyes at the moment. I'm not going to elaborate on the facial features just yet until I know what I'm working with here. So now we can get to the wings. So last time I did circles. And that was neat. It was cute. Maybe I can even fill them in over here. It'll be a nice little contrast to the leggings and whatnot. But I don't know. I feel like it could be better. even though honestly this is looking a little more successful than that overall. So what I'm gonna do is, one, I'm going to add a button onto this. There, yeah, we're gonna add buttons onto her shirt just to bring some of those buttons back. I missed them. I missed the buttons. And I'm going to go with a different idea. Let's find an arbitrary shape we can run with outside of a heart that might fit our motif. I feel like this right here is good. Something with a pointed end like that. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Or I could, do that. It's all good. It's all great potential. So what I'll do is, I'll start off like this. And it points right back to the hands. I'm gonna start off like that. Yeah, that's a little better than I thought. And then, let me give some volume to these wings as well. Let me give me an idea of what we're working with here. And then we'll go ahead and do that. Ooh, okay, now I see a potential in this. That's a tangent. I don't entirely like that, but we're gonna go with it. So now it turned into something more of like a flower pattern. And we're just going on with these spokes as we go up. Now there's an important thing to remember in design. And I don't know if you've noticed this as I've been working. Probably not. I haven't mentioned it. And it's a very subtle thing. But in design, there are 3 important sections, and maybe I should create a new layer for this. There's 3 important sections in terms of design. You have your small, oh no, what did I do? You have your small, your medium, and your large. Small, medium, and large. And it's easier if you draw it out. It is easier if you draw it out. Small, medium, and large. So the idea behind this theory is that whenever you design something, you have moments with large shapes, which would be here, here, and here. And ooh, this is pretty large as well. The whole pants thing, leggings thing. And then you have your medium shapes, which would be here. And then I guess these are pretty medium. The hair is a sort of medium shape as well. You got this. And then you have your small shapes, which are these little details right here. These hearts are small. This button, these buttons are small. And the idea is you want to put the shapes next to each other. You want to put a large shape next to a small shape, next to a medium shape, next to a large shape. But you don't really like too many small shapes next to small shapes. So the reason being is because when you get to a large space, your eye has a time to rest because there's not as many details to focus in on. But right here, and I just randomly noticed myself doing this, as you start adding in stuff like this, it's nice. And every once in a while, it's nice to have little intricate moments like that where something is very detailed short on. But I think the only reason this remotely will work in this case is because we have that large section, that large shape that's coming up right after it. The whole jacket is a large shape. And because that jacket's there, we get away with putting in that intricate design because there's also another large shape right here that gets to give your eyes some rest. They get to rest there. When they're tired of looking at this, they get to rest on this. And then, you have your medium shades and everything else. So it's just, this is an important thing to remember because people do two things, and I was the first one. The first one is we do too many large shapes, and there's a lack of interesting points in your design. Or we do too many small shapes, and your design is just way too active, and it actually hurts to look at. So that's something to remember while you're constructing designs like this. Okay, back to business. Whew, it's been about 45 minutes. We're almost done. There's a couple of things I want to try, and I think I'm done with that one. So now I think I want to completely switch it up. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lighten these shoulder pads because they're going to be light. I'm going to get rid of these sleeves because I don't think the sleeves are as necessary. As a matter of fact, no, I'll keep the sleeves. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse the leggings. So I'm going to make the sleeves the darker part. Oh, not like that. I'm not. Oh, not like that. I'm not. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to make the sleeves the darker part. The sleeves are going to have some tinge to it. She's going to the dark side. Like Luke in the third Star Wars movie. We're coming back in all black and everything. I've learned some things. And so we're going to do that, which means, you guessed it, we're going to lighten these leggings up. Her legs are going to just glisten. Okay, maybe not glisten, but they're gonna increase in value. But since these legs are lighting up like that, oh my goodness, that means these hearts are gonna be black, filled with darkness, which probably means I won't end up using this design because that is so not the story that's going on. But I couldn't help it. We had to switch it up. We had to search new avenues because maybe we'll find something in this dark version of Sky that actually helps with the final version. It's a shame. I feel like I'm almost sold on the first one, and you should never really be sold on the first one. But it's good that I'm at least exploring the other ones. But yeah, never be sold on the first one. Never. Your first one is probably always your worst one. And you know what? Now that I'm seeing this, I think I'm going to make a dual layered wing set. Even though we won't really see it in action. That's down the line. But a dual layered wing set. So yeah. Now this wing is doing its thing. Now the leggings. And I don't think I'm going to end it there. That's too simple. That's like a color shift. We're looking for variations. So now what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to bring the black all the way up here. So honestly, there we go. So honestly, it covers all that up. Let's look for something else. Let's go buckle crazy. You know, I'm tired of seeing these fashionable Kingdom Hearts characters just styling entirely on my girl here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give her a little flap. So we're going to, boom, a little jacket flap there. Boom, there we go. It's all zipped up. Yes, and that means we're adding in zippers too. Oh yes, we are adding in zippers. So, boom, boom, boom. The whole thing turns into a jacket. I say boom a lot. Why do I do that? Man, I must really feel it. So I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go up here too. It's gonna start up here. Actually, that was a mistake. I don't know how I'm gonna. I don't know how I'm gonna make that look like it makes sense. I sort of designed myself into a corner. So I'm going to take the very edge, put it right there. Maybe the only way I can think is if the whole thing becomes like that. That's just weird. That's probably just an undershirt. So we're going to do that. I'm going to give her the jacket. We're not done. We're going to give her pockets. Lots of pockets, too. So we're going to line up the jacket with some pockets. Boom, boom, boom. I just realized I'm probably always going to be saying boom, boom, boom. Or boom of some caliber. I'm going to give the jacket zippers. I'm going to reflect zippers up here like this. You know, you got some zipper action going on. You know, just crisscross. And it's gotta go to the end. It's gotta go to the edge if it's a zipper. It's got to. And then, you know, we can draw a tiny zipper right there. Just a tiny zipper. And what else? Let's pull as much as we can. Let's give her a belt for no reason. She's wearing leggings, but she is gonna be sporting a belt today. Why not? It could house her sword. And that might actually be a bad idea. And you know, we didn't design the sword. But you know, the segment was on clothing. So we're not going to design the sword. We may do it later if it feels right. If I want to and you want to, then we can design the sword. But for now, we're focusing on this aspect. And I actually kind of like that. But let's switch up the shoulder pad a bit. Let's actually add and I see that because of Aqua's little thing. Let's add that little slight feudal Japan, you know, samurai armor thing going on. And, you know, it doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't have to dominate the entire thing. It just has to be a little thing that's there that says, hey, you know, I'm still actually a warrior. I'm just not, you know, I'm not just stylish. I fight too. And I think that's good. That's good as far as variations go. And I like where that's going. Maybe one last thing for the wings. And you know what? Maybe we can go the full mile. Maybe. These hands, I think she should have her bare hands for this one. So let's see. Let's see how. Now I'm just drawing random things that look like deformed hearts, which might still go with the motif of, you know, whatever she was doing. You know, this bad girl motif. Bad girl theme. And maybe I'll just do that. And since her clothes are all black and everything, I'm still gonna leave the wings relatively white. And you know, we're just gonna darken this area right here. And maybe we'll leave it like that for now. And I didn't even touch their shoes, but you know what? I'm gonna touch her shoes. I'm gonna touch her shoes. Her shoes can stay crappy. We'll figure that out. We're running out of time. But her shoes, nah. We can fix these up. We can fix these up, homie. You best believe we can fix these joints up. So here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do. Here is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go here. And you know what? I didn't utilize this part last time. I'm gonna utilize this whole thing for this shoe. It's a bit much, so actually I'm gonna shave off a bit. But boom. This the shoe. So I'm gonna go here. Last time it was Converse. I don't know what it's gonna be this time. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. So I'm gonna bring the shoe down. And let's switch it up. So we got the heart thing going on. Let's keep the black heart theme. Nah, I need a black shoe. So the heart's gonna stay white. But I can include a black heart-shaped zipper. And we're straight up zipping these shoes up. Straight zippers. And what else about these shoes can we add? Maybe let's do an X. An X is easy. Why not? Let's throw an X in there. Everybody does the X. Even Sora has an X on his shoe. But I haven't done an X yet, so. An X always works. However, unfortunately, I regret to inform you, if you resorted to an X, you've lost some originality points in your design, just in general. X's are just so common in design. But it's okay, because, you know, they're actually rather effective. So boom, instead of a Converse symbol, I'm going to do another black heart. Maybe we can add something a little morbid to it. Let's get a little So boom, we're gonna pierce it. We're gonna pierce the heart with a little sword. Bam. Splurt, splurt. Okay. Oh man. Gotta itch my arm. All right, so now we're gonna darken up this shoe a bit. Keep those X's white. We're just gonna bring in a little bit of volume, a little bit of value. You know, do the same thing over here. And a little bit of that, a little bit of that. You know, whoa. Let me fix up that heart shape. Let me fix up this heart shape. Oh my goodness. Just, oh, there we go. And then, you know, it's squeezed a bit, so we'll throw a little bit of that in there. Boom. Now she's got fresh kicks that are different from her other peeps. And I guess I forgot a face. And I forgot to fix the hair. Judging from the darkness, I'm gonna make the hair. I'm still gonna make it a light color. I'm still gonna keep the hair. That's what I know for sure. The hair is gonna be a light color. Thinking of switching up the hairstyle, but maybe I'll keep it long. I kind of like the long thing. At least for this character. It's grown on me. It has. So now, just gonna give her like a little more of a furrowed brow. Cause she being bad. You would have like a whole bridge nose. Let's make that smile pop so you know it's mischievous. Let's give her chin a little more room. Well, her mouth a little more room from her chin. Okay. And to be honest, that's all we needed. It's pretty good. That's the design. And you know, I could refine it a little bit more. So yeah, so much for turnarounds. We're not gonna do that this time. But I like this. This could be like Negasora, even though, you know. So yeah, even though I really like that design, but I think in the end, this is the more appropriate since it's brighter. I would steal the buttons here. Hold up, let me go back. I would like to steal the buttons from that design onto there. I think that's a good fit. Yeah, let me just ensure I have these buttons here. And I'll put the button over there. Yeah. And I think, honestly, I like the wing design on that one more. I think it would actually be better. If it were a game, it'd be better because it would just be beautiful and ornate. If it were like a comic or animation, I would steer far away from this because that's gonna be annoying. So yeah. And maybe I'll just take a little bit from that one. You know, I'll take that weird heart design from that one and put it in the wing, because this was the basic wing in the first place. So it really wasn't that great. But if I throw a little bit of that pizzazz in there, you know, so we're gonna do that. Sort of near retarded heart right here. Do another, you know, semi dysfunctional heart right there. And then boom. You can do the same thing on this side. Mm-hmm. And that's good. I like that. I think that's better. And you know, I was a little on the nose with the heart motifs. Well, there are some moments where it was just pretty nice. But in a couple of areas I was a little on the nose, but that's fine because I liked the way I was on the nose. Shoot. We're gonna have to blow through the next one. May have to cut this into a different part. Yeah. So it'll be a three-part session, because next time we're going to truly refine it, finish it off, and pick the colors. So yeah, that's definitely what we'll be doing next time. But as for now, we've definitely got the final design down, and I may even pair this with the first one. Nah, I don't think so, to be honest. Might not. It's long enough already. So, shoot. So yeah, that's it. We got 3 separate designs here, and they're way more finished. They're way better. And you know, you can never do too much prep work. And I guarantee you, it would not. The design overall would not have been good had we refused to do the prep work. So I'm glad you guys could join me. We're gonna do a part 3 of this, and that is just fine, because then we can focus all on the colors and it shouldn't be that long. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys around next time. Thanks. And for future notice, we won't be doing Evil Sky. We'll probably be going with the first one. And then prepare to see the first sky in the next video. Yeah. Evil Sky will come back later, but yeah.